One thing you have to understand is that not all platforms are the same. Every respective platform has its own value proposition. Take LinkedIn for example. LinkedIn has a number of value proposition. You can apply for jobs through there, you can build your resume there, you can build a professional network, there's social media functionality, you can advertise there. So it has a whole host of value and a number of things that it does, right? Whilst other platforms like Seek are specialists in their own geographic locations, right? Seek is specialized in areas like New Zealand, Australia, and some parts of Asia, right? Every single geographic location has a type of Seek website or Seek tool. Even here in South Africa, we have a whole bunch of different tools and options that are available. So it is an example of a country or geographic location specific tooling that specializes in catering for people in that specific location. There are other platforms as well, like OfferZen, that will bring opportunities to you as opposed to you having to manually apply. So, with platforms like OfferZen, you simply just upload your profile, and a professional on their side will guide you to the process of getting opportunities. They will put your profile out there to companies that are looking to employ, and those employers will reach out to you. So it's a service whereby you chill back, relax, and the jobs come to you essentially. And other platforms like Work at a Startup or Wellfound are examples of platforms where they cater to a specific type of employer, right? So usually these will be startup companies that have inexperienced people running the operations of the business. So they can be opportunities for people who don't have much experience to get their foot in the door in these type of businesses. Usually these type of companies, they give equity and they just raise money from investors. So it's very relaxed. You have more of a one-on-one type of relationship with these type of employers, right? They're smaller organizations on the whole, right? So they cater to these type of employers, not these large corporate employers, but these smaller startup businesses that are not yet profitable, that are small and lean, whereby you're gonna have to work a lot of hours, but they usually reward you in the form of equity. And many more, hey? So there's other platforms where they help you get remote jobs, other platforms where they help you get contract gigs. There's just so many different platforms. But the one I believe the most in and the one I've received the most success with is by far LinkedIn. I've gotten 4 jobs through LinkedIn, and every single time I got a job through LinkedIn, it came with a massive salary increase. And I truly believe that LinkedIn is the ultimate juggernaut when it comes to applying for jobs. So I'm going to share with you all of my tips and tricks to help you get a high paying job through LinkedIn fast. Tip number 1: although it's nice to have a nice image of yourself and background, it's not a must. I've managed to get jobs without having pretty pictures and backgrounds and whatever. All I did it when I got my first gig through LinkedIn was just my CV. I applied straight up with my CV with no profile picture, no experience listed, whatever. My CV did all of the heavy lifting. So understand that yes, there are going to be people there on LinkedIn who have nice pictures and whatever, they're very presentable and backgrounds and they list the experience and they went to good universities, blah 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 blah. It's not necessary. Your CV does all the heavy lifting when you're applying. With that being said, there are definitely advantages for making your LinkedIn profile to be very presentable. I'll go into detail as to how you can make it presentable and the opportunities that'll come your way when you do make your LinkedIn profile to be presentable. But first things first, head over to the job section. Now that you're in the job section, head to the top left of your screen. Click the search icon and enter the name of the type of role that you desire, followed by the geographic location. Something to note is that when entering a geographic location, it's easier to get a job opportunity in the geographic location that you're in already. Because if you enter a geographic location that is outside of your country, You will have visa requirements that you will have to overcome on top of just meeting the requirements of the job. So keep that in mind. And when entering a name of a job, be very specific. Know exactly what you want and what you're looking for. Once this information has been entered, you'll see a list of jobs matching the job title that you've entered with the matching geographic location. Above that are a number of filters that you can choose. Most of them are pretty useless, but one that is useful is called Easy Apply, which is a filter you can use to list jobs only by their ease of applications straight through LinkedIn. One thing to note before using Easy Apply to filter the job, understand that it will greatly limit the number of applications that you can make because many employers like Amazon and Apple, a whole bunch of other companies, do not typically allow for Easy Applies. They redirect to their own page where they have a portal already built set up to do exactly that. And after filtering according to the jobs that you're interested in and finding the perfect job for you, go through the description, read it clearly to understand what it is that you are getting yourself into, apply, and then after apply, keep track of your notification because the more notifications that you get to indicate that people are viewing your application or downloading your CV or resume, it is an indicator that there's a demand for your skills and talents and that people are looking at what you're applying. If you don't get these indications that people are viewing your resume or application, downloading your CV, then it's an indication that there's something wrong that you're doing. That either you're not a good candidate, you need to upskill some more, or there's some other issue at fault. But there's something definitely wrong. You should be getting notifications that people are viewing, not that you've applied, but people are viewing and downloading your resume. Once you start noticing that companies are paying attention to you and reaching out to you for interviews, head back to the job section, and in the job section, head to the left hand side, click My Jobs, which will redirect you to a page that has all of your saved jobs, applied jobs, and archived jobs. The value of this page is that it offers you a way of keeping organized to all of the different jobs that you're applying to, which is extremely valuable. Because what you're going to realize is that when you apply to a lot of different jobs, you're going to lose track of which jobs you applied to. So being organized is very helpful. And a bonus tip is that sometimes when you apply for these jobs, the salary range is given up front, right? So when you have a record as to what the salary range was before you applied, it'll help you when it comes to negotiations. Because what could happen is that when you're applying, you'll be applying to so many different jobs that you won't remember that this particular job had a higher than average salary that they were paying. So when it comes down to negotiations, you may lowball yourself, even though this company was willing to pay you more. So remember that. Now I'm gonna give you some additional bonus tips for the advanced people who really want to stand out on LinkedIn. So head over to your profile again, and underneath your profile, scroll to the bottom. You'll see that there's a section where you can describe your experience. Please ensure that you have links to all of the work that you worked on because that will get them to automatically go to those links and check out your work. This is very important because it helps sell you and make you very believable, especially if the caliber of work that you worked on is of very good quality. It gives a very good impression on them. And at the top, you'll see that the URL of my profile matches my name and surname. This is by design. I intentionally did this. There is a way for you to do the same for your profile. All you have to do is just do a quick Google search on how to do it, and you can also do the same. The advantage of doing this is that it makes you look way more professional than all the other candidates, and also it shortens the URL if done properly. The last feature that I want to make you aware of that I don't think a lot of people know is that LinkedIn allows you to build resumes through it. And the resume tool builder that they have is good because it builds your resume in a format that is internationally recognized. To use LinkedIn's resume builder, it's pretty straightforward. Just click on the buttons that prompt you to go and proceed to the next steps. It's not difficult to do. It's like filling out your LinkedIn profile again. It's just that at the end of it, there'll be a button that says download to PDF, and that'll convert whatever it is that you put in the resume builder into a PDF, and it will be short and straight to the point. An additional advantage of using LinkedIn's resume builder is that it creates the CV or resume in such a way that it can be picked up by the AI tools that are used by most employers to automatically filter applications, right? If you're not aware of this, CVs most of the times, especially with these big employers, don't get read by a human straight up. They first get filtered by AI and other machines and toolings that these large corporates, most of them use. So that's something to be cognizant of.